Hello, I'm Maria Hall Brown, and this is LA Currents. Well, we all know about the Dodgers' prowess on the field, but are you aware of the compassionate concern for the community? We're going to find out all the things that the Los Angeles Dodgers Foundation does, because I'm joined today by the CEO, Nicole Whiteman. So nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Maria.
And so fun to be here at the stadium.
Yes, it's lovely when there aren't 56,000 people here.
What prompted the need for a foundation?
Yeah, so the foundation was actually founded by Peter O'Malley in 1995, and at the time he and the ownership group really wanted to make sure that they were providing a vehicle to the Los Angeles community that could very specifically hone in on mission-related items and causes that were important to Los Angeles.
The foundation is built on good intent, but what are the action items? What are the things that you guys
Yes,
do?
you know, we exist literally as a 501c3 to address LA's most pressing problems. And so what we're talking about is homelessness, education, healthcare, and social justice. We do the work through a social justice lens because we know that there are individuals in the Los Angeles community who are living in the shadows of Dodger Stadium, meaning that they aren't frequent visitors, but they may be fans, and we want to take responsibility for caring about them and their needs as well. The foundation is about opening doors. It's about access and opportunity. It's about using this big brand that is the Dodgers to amplify the voices of those who are living in underserved communities.
So when you say a social justice lens, I mean, that is a word that is really imperative in our society these days, but how does the Dodgers Foundation interpret that? What are some of the things that you are looking in that lens for?
Yes, we very implicitly know that across the country and here in Los Angeles that Black and brown communities suffer at just exasperated rates as compared to other communities. And so we are very specific and intentional about serving those who need us the most. And so when we say social justice lens for here in Los Angeles, because of the statistics that exist, we actually are focused on the Black and brown communities through the Dodgers Foundation. Really, it's important for us to understand how they're suffering, and it's important for us to ask them specifically what they need, and then to address those needs through our programs, our initiatives, and our grant making.
Okay, so what are some of the programs?
Yes, and so we do a couple of different things. Community infrastructure happens through our Dodgers Dream Fields program, and so we have built 58 baseball and softball fields throughout the Los Angeles community, providing safe spaces for youth and their families to play, to gather, and we create outdoor classrooms. We actually infuse education components into our baseball and softball fields. We do sports-based youth development, and so we have a Dodgers Dream Team program where we give 12,000 youth an opportunity to play baseball and softball annually at 84 different locations throughout Los Angeles and Long Beach. We partner with recreation agencies like the City of LA Rec and Parks to make sure that kids have what they need, yes, in terms of sports and equipment, but we kind of really parallel that with wraparound services and basic necessities. We know that kids are coming to fields with a lot of challenges, and we want to make sure that they don't just go back home to those challenges, that we are actually addressing them. And so whether that's providing education resources like college access and success, college tours and things of that nature, or health resources, so simple things like eye screenings and dental screenings, which may seem simple to us, but not as simple to families that can't necessarily access them. And then basic necessities, you know, food, hygiene essentials, clothing, those are things that are important to our families, and we need to make sure that we're doing this holistic approach and providing them with all of those things all together.
First of all, I'm exhausted thinking about what your day must be. But to begin with, let me break down a couple of the things. I was, right off the bat, you said you've built 150 fields. So are those on school sites? Are they like just in parks and rec spaces? Have you found land on your own and put things together?
We've done so many things, and I said so many things. We've built 58 Dodgers Dream Fields, and those fields are actually public community spaces.
Okay.
And so we actually have one unique field at a school at John Muir High School where Jackie Robinson attended high school in Pasadena. Besides that, we actually build the fields and community spaces in partnership again with recreation services agencies because we want the spaces to be open to the public.
Right.
We want them to be spaces where youth who are making the recreation centers their second home feel like they have a place to go in their neighborhood down the street to play. And we want them to belong to communities. I think you and I remember as we were growing up, schools were open on the weekends, schools were open all the time. That's not necessarily the case anymore. And so we don't necessarily focus on schools. We do actually actually also partner with nonprofit agencies. And so we actually have 2 Dodgers Dream Fields in housing developments here in the city of Los Angeles in partnership with 2 different Boys and Girls Clubs. And so really excited to be able to put them in spaces where residents can enjoy them, where people really feel like, hey, I have a second home and somewhat of a Dodger stadium because of the big scoreboard and the signage and those kinds of things pretty much around the corner from my house.
Talking about understanding how powerful all of these foundations in someone's life can be, you have that experience firsthand.
Yeah. I feel so honored and privileged to wake up every single day and come to Dodger Stadium as the CEO of the Los Angeles Dodgers Foundation, because I always say that I was the kid that we serve. My family, I'm a first-generation American, a first-generation college graduate, and this opportunity to be a beneficiary of so many different amazing nonprofit organizations, including the Jackie Robinson Foundation, who afforded me the opportunity to go to college via a scholarship and a mentorship and leadership development program, it's priceless. It's really priceless. I and my family needed the resources of so many nonprofits to open the doors, right, to provide access and opportunity. And because we took advantage of that, and because we had amazing people, individuals in our lives, mentors and more, I know that's why I sit here as the CEO of the Los Angeles Dodgers Foundation. So I have a passion for this work. I understand what families may be looking for. I understand the challenges they may be facing and what their fears might be, but I also know like it's possible. And so I wake up every day so excited to be like this living example of it's completely possible. And so from the Dodgers Foundation perspective, if we can give them possibilities for the future, it's my one and only goal, right? Like, here is an opportunity, here's an open door.
Have you seen many yous in this whole thing? Have you been able to pull stories out that you recognize?
Yes.
Somebody who has had.
Yes, and I will say especially in young women, right? Because young women are often not necessarily given an opportunity to play sport or to participate in a lot of extracurricular activity, because growing up, we have a strong place in our household. We have a lot of responsibility in our household, sometimes different from our brothers, especially immigrant families. And so I see a lot of myself in local girls that we serve. But I think that our foundation is encouraging them to participate, that you can do both. You can be there to support your family, but you also at a very young age have to realize that it's important for you to attend to your success as well, right? And so I do see a lot of myself in the young women that we serve.
What would make you feel as if you've done your job well?
I think the biggest outcome for me is increased possibilities for the future for people here in the city of Los Angeles. It's that increase in quality of life, that increase in self-confidence, and strengthen communities. Those things are ultimately what we're aiming to do, and those would make me feel like, hey, we are being successful, we are successful.
So if people want to help with the foundation, I mean, obviously you have some pretty prominent players, you've got the support of the organization at large, but 14 people does not a foundation make. So what can just the general populace do, and where do you look? Then what do you look for in someone that wants to reach out?
Yeah, it's a couple different ways. Obviously, donating is front and center and makes a whole lot of sense, right? For those who can't donate, volunteering also is tremendously helpful for us. This opportunity to connect with a community that you know and love, or a community that you want to get to know and love, is something that can happen through the Dodgers Foundation. And so we encourage people to go to dodgers.com/LADF to really be able to see all of the ways in which they can give, all the programs that they can support.
Well, this was absolutely spectacular to sit here and have, I mean, I feel guilty that you took this time, given I know exactly what you're going through right now. But thank you so much for sharing all this great information.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.